Yo, Teal the Stat, Rel Raw and Uncut. We done teamed up. A podcast for the community, hard as an uppercut with that real news. Upside your headpiece, informing you with that real stuff. With the how, why, who wins and what's a reality, making it clear cut. Truth will set you free, unfiltered and no bluff, no fluff. You kid or rebut, don't be bewildered. Don't agree with the cause, great, you can speak up. Wednesdays at 8, hit the comments up, talk your stuff, set it straight. We learn more from each other in this information age. Institutions will leave you lost and awestruck. So listen up, you'll be compelled. Maybe you'll find yourself stuck on what you thought was real. But them gems I'm dropping on this program may just appeal to your appetite for info. This the intro to reveal. Get your info on YouTube for your feel. From AM to PM, it's popping, so sit back and chill. Nobody doing it like this man on this podcast is for real. It's Rel Raw and Uncut. Rel Raw and Uncut. Wednesdays at 8 AM.
Yo, whether you're listening to this on your way to work, whether you're listening to this while you're at home, whether you're listening to this on your way to bed, this is the Rel Raw and Uncut podcast. I'm your host, Rels. Make sure you go follow me on YouTube, www.youtube.com/RDHTV82, Twitch, RDHTV82, Twitter, I am Rels2920, and all that good stuff that comes with it. But I have finally tracked him down. It's been hiding from me for about 3 years now. DJ Extraordinaire. I normally don't curse on my show, but it's extraordinary asshole himself. But he is one of my dearest friends, and I can't say that about a lot of people. I consider him a brother. I've known this guy forever. The Evening Rush Entertainment's DJ Don Doru. How are you doing it?
Where I'm looking for my air horns, give myself an air horn drop. What's going on, my brother?
No, you ain't getting that right now. The second interview you do, but not the first one.
Hell of an intro. I appreciate you, my brother.
No, I appreciate that. I was actually trying. I'm still working on like sound effects and stuff. I got to get to that point. I ain't really there yet. I'm still, as you can see, the intro's coming along. The background now, the logo is. I'm putting everything together slowly but surely. But it's working.
It was tough, my brother. I like that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, shout outs to Teal the Stat out of Arizona for doing that for me. I appreciate that. But what's going on with you though? How you doing?
Man, same shit. Just grinding, man. Tired, man. I said, it's a joke. I was telling one of my homeboys the other day. I said, I'm getting kind of a late start in a young man's game, so my body's trying to catch up.
I feel you.
In fact, I might need to start running with you to the gym, man.
You know where to find me. You know, I'm not hard guy to find. You know what I'm saying? Sundays I'm there. You know, you can bring the DJ equipment.
Nice.
So we gonna start because if anybody knows me and you've been trying to get this going for it is forever. And a little behind the scenes, this is actually being recorded because this is gonna drop. Well, actually, this is gonna drop while I'm in Mexico. But little interesting thing is this is August 20th right now. We're doing this at 9:13 p.m. I literally texted this guy at like 8:55, like, yo, when can I interview you? He literally told me whenever you're ready. I literally told him right now. He literally told me he's on 2K. This man literally paused his legacy mode for me so he could do this interview. So I greatly appreciate this.
Oh, good. Like I said, it's all love, bro. All that you did for me, like that's the least I could do.
Man, listen. I don't take credit because there's no credit to be taken. At the end of the day, it's your hard work, bro.
I'm gonna give it. You do what you want with it.
Put it in my back pocket for 20 years from now.
Just in case you're feeling down and you don't need the black.
Just in case when I need you for something, I know it's in the back pocket. And I'm gonna clip this part right here because you told me. But I got you though. But let's start from the beginning because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But so I appreciate it though. How did you? You are DJ Extraordinaire. You've been doing this thing with. I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I'm gonna start and ask you, how did you get into it? And how long have you been doing it for?
Oh man, the actual DJing aspect of it, I've been going hard. Let's say like the last 3 to 5 years, but prior to that, I just always had a love for music. I came up in a musical background. As far as my parents are concerned, father from St. Thomas, mother down south. So there's been nothing but music in the house.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I just like been almost like a collector of CDs, and then I didn't find out I wanted to DJ until actually one of my homeboys. He said, "Yo, you got all these CDs and all this music around. Why don't you do something with it?" So we going back to my high school days now. So we're going back like
63.
Yeah. let's say like 96, 97. We got something like 20 some years. I went to DC. It wasn't until I went to DC. I was out there for a little bit. I was working on telecommunications, and my homeboy's roommate, he was DJing. So she asked me to show me. I said, "Oh, I can do this." And I started with that. I came back home to New York, and I bought my first piece of equipment, which was a Newmark mix deck. I didn't know what I was doing. I just bought the controller, called my homeboy up who happened to be DJ. I said, "Yo, listen, I got the music up. How the hell do I make this play?" And then since there, I've been banging on the walls, making noise over mom's and pop's head. Been like I really like submerged myself into it. I said, this is something I could really do. I didn't know I was going to turn it into a profession until people started telling me I was good.
So it's safe to say that you probably didn't have the best confidence in yourself at first?
I didn't know where it could take me. It was like literally a hobby for me.
Mm-hmm.
Literally a hobby. And I think, when I first started, I said, I'm not going to. Yeah, so you can't say that. Because when I first started, I was like, it's not going to take me nowhere, really. And then eventually parties started picking up. Dude who actually put me on, he hit me up the other day. He said, "Yo, I surpassed him on many, many levels." I said, that's humbling. Like, you know me. I'm like, usually a compliment is like, I take a compliment and like I hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. I got to DJ with some of the names, Union DJs. They gave me a lot of information, and just a lot of experience. With like positive feedback. I always try to be honest with people because I want people to be honest with me. And I say, if I'm garbage, tell me I'm garbage. I'm getting good feedback though.
Absolutely. Do you remember your first song you ever mixed?
The first song I ever mixed. It was a wow. I think it was a Temptation song.
Ooh.
And a rap song. I forgot what it was, but like I said, my mom's, because it's a give and take being in my mom's house. So I said, what? If I play some oldies, she'll let me get away with the cursing. So I said, she's up on a Sunday. Let me put some of the oldies on, then I can get into my section. But I love the oldies too. So it was definitely some oldies that I really started playing with, and then from there, because me, I have more of I would say a Caribbean background with it. So me, I came in. My focus was to be in the R&B and the soca. The reggae and the soca.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started running around with Superstar J, he actually became like a mentor of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Yo, this R&B shit hit. Like this shit runs parties." I'm like, "Nah, you can't do nothing to party, but realize you gotta play for the ladies. Because that's who's partying, that's who's buying the drinks." And then I could get into the reggae later, but I started doing whole sets. We talking about 4-6 hours straight R&B, loving it. Damn, I almost escaping my reggae roots, but still here, still grinding. But yeah, I think to get to your question, I think it was a Temptations and I want to say Tupac. Because that's what I was really heavy with.
Yo, that is, with this being 50 years of hip hop, that is two totally different.
Yeah, I made it work.
Like, this went from Temptation to Tupac. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, it probably sounded like a mess. It probably sounded like a hell of a mess. So I wish I had a tape of this so I could critique myself. That's why I love like some of these new programs I'm able to record. And I actually sit there sometimes like, yo, that was terrible. That shit was terrible. That blend was terrible. And some people are like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm my worst critic.
I feel you. At what point when you DJing and you was just like, yeah, I'm nice? Because I know you just said like you're a very humble guy, and I've known you forever, and I know that to be true. But internally, you have to be like at some point, like, yo, I'm actually pretty good at this. When did it hit you that you was just like, yo, I'm actually pretty good at this?
When I started DJing with Superstar J, and he was giving me pointers, and like I was running for him like every like Friday in Long Island for like it was like a year straight, maybe a little bit more than a year. And then I did a few boat rides with him, and then there was this one party. It's like almost an industry party. He turned to me and he said, he put the mic down. He said, "Welcome to the big leagues." And then my mouth dropped. So I started listening to my mixes and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people, people started knowing me as Superstar Jay's boy, or, you know, because he usually have me set up, and then, you know, like some of these big name DJs do, they have 2 or 3 gigs. They send somebody to set up, or they do this one gig, you rock that crowd, let them go, and then they'll switch up. So he had me doing that for him a few times. It's just so dope. But I think when I first heard like one of my recordings and being like under his wing, I said, "Yo, I'm pretty good," because it was a different crowd for me. Because at first, I really started getting heavy. Like me and you and I both came from the circuit. I started getting heavy with Hood, so it was the same crowd almost and stuff like that. But I was doing good in that crowd. But I needed to see how I did outside of that crowd. I needed to know if I was just there as a convenience or if I was really good. So when I started doing the upper parties, I'm like, holy shit, I'm good.
See, that's the thing too, because us being in that same lifestyle, it's real easy to be a DJ in the circuit and be good and get gigs in the circuit. And because people know who you are, you're always going to get gigs. But at the same time, like you said, it's very important for you also as a DJ to step out of that circle into baby showers, bar mitzvahs, other things outside of the circuit life to see and hone your craft in different areas. Because you could do the circuit thing for 10 years and then step out and do a birthday party outside of the circuit that have no circuit affiliation, and people might not respond to it the same way.
Yes, correct.
So you have to really be versatile in everything you do, in every place you go, to achieve to be that DJ that you want to be.
It's a life lesson and everything, man. So just keep your open mind and respect. Not everybody's gonna like you.
Yes.
And I ran with that. I said somebody's gonna complain. Overall, so I try to play as if the first person in a party is the last person at the party. So it's like, how do I keep them entertained? People gonna come in and say, "Oh, I want to hear this, I want to hear that." I say, "Yo, but you know, there's people here that already heard that." I'll try to get it, and I'm not one of those other guys. I don't turn down requests. I try not to, but at the same time, I like being perched up on the stages. That way, people can't get to you. I'm a bit of an enigma. But for the most part, it's like I'll try to get it back on. But I want party goers and everybody to understand that once a DJ gets into a certain groove, to play your one particular track, you're gonna throw that off. You're gonna throw off the psyche of the party. Now I can cater to you, but then you're not gonna get blamed for the party going left. I'm gonna get blamed. So I gotta with this. This is my course. I gotta.
So that would tie into my next question then, because you kind of almost answered it, but I want to get a clearer answer.
Okay.
What is the easiest? It's a 2-part question. What is the easiest part about being a DJ? What is the hardest part about being a DJ?
I had this conversation with my mother the other not too long ago. I think in both aspects there's an easiness and there's a difficulty to it. So like for instance, when you're doing a radio broadcast, you don't have to worry about a crowd sitting in front of you, and it's not the party aspect of when you're on a radio broadcast, but the simple fact you don't get the crowd feedback. You're just going off of, yo, I hope they're really rocking with me. Then now if you're at the party, it is the aspect of keeping that crowd going. So you have to be able to read the crowd. I tell people being on DJ is like being a therapist. And people you got to know what they want. You got to be able to read their minds. And I don't have a set playlist. I see a lot of them guys cheat themselves or they're comfortable with a certain style or a certain bunch of music. And they say, oh, you know what? This worked for me last week, so I'm going to run off this week. If you listen to all my broadcasts from the Evening Rush Network, if you listen to a party of mine, if you listen to whatever, there's totally different playing style, not style so much, but there's different mixes all the time. My mixes, I'm 20-something, almost 30-something in with the Evening Rush as far as mixes are concerned. No mix is the same. I take requests for those mixes because it challenges me. So sometimes can you do a bad boy mix? Can you do a what I did? I just did
like a so def mix, things of that nature.
Yeah, so get that. Somebody challenged me with that. Yeah, I haven't got to that yet because I got to figure out how I want to attack that because Jermaine Dupri, he's so all over the place. You can make a
Mm-hmm.
5-hour mix with Jermaine Dupri. Is how you go about attacking that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the difficult aspect of it is I don't want to say reinventing myself, just keeping fresh. It's not repeating yourself, not getting too comfortable. That's the hard part of it.
So being a DJ, pretty much you have to reinvent yourself every time.
Almost. Because you can't go in there thinking I rock this crowd with this, so I'm gonna do with this. You got to be able to think on the fly. So a lot of times, what I like to do, I pick a start point. I even ask somebody, what song should I start with? And they say start with this one. So it's then how do you carry on from that? So as a DJ, you're thinking ahead. So it's not about if a party starts at 8 o'clock while you're DJing at 8:15, you're trying to figure out how you get to a certain point by 9:15. So a DJ, if you see his face, they call it the Serato face.
Mm-hmm.
He's like in his computer, but he's really thinking, how am I going to get to this point? So like if I'm at this mode and I want to get to this mode, how do I get the people to this point with me? And how do I get to this song, which is going to hit later? I know this song is going to hit. And like I said, it's about reading your crowd. I play anywhere from baby showers to like my mother and father's age. So it's totally different. I got whole ranges of and I got fans now. I'm happy to say I got fans. I get freaking at least 30,000 listeners a week.
Listen,
and I'm able to brag about that. I said, shit, people are really listening to me.
Man, listen, I've known you've been good forever. You just needed a bigger platform to put it out there. But I've always known it. It's the reason why. It's the only reason why I rode your coattails for all these years, man. Because I know when you take off, I'm like, just remember the little people. You know what's
funny? You told me that, and I said, yo, he's just saying that because it's my dude. But then at the same time, I was like, nah. If there's one other person that's honest in this world besides myself, is Rose. And if I was garbage, he's going to tell me that.
Oh, I would tell you. You know, I'd tell you if you trash. I would tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's one thing. If I was doing bad, like, boom, to give you a perfect example, just did Square Business Party. Shout out to Square Biz, D-Lo, Al, the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Just did their party. Like, I opened up and stuff like that. And I was like, I just came from upstate doing the hood barbecue. So me, I'm just trying to get stuff together. And dude came and he said, yo, that was a terrible transition. I said, yeah, I know. And it was just and I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted somebody to tell me that. And I told people, how can I get better if everybody keeps telling me I'm good?
Yeah, because then once everybody keeps telling you you're good all the time, then you're going to think you're great. And then that's when you get complacent and lazy. And all of a sudden now it's like you're not taking feedback from people no more because you already feel like you're in a place where if they criticize you now, it's their fault. It's their issue, not yours.
Right. You're a hater.
Yeah.
You're a hater. Not because, it's like when you know how you get into an argument with back in the day, you said, you tell somebody something and you're honest with them. So, well, you're the only person to ever tell me that. Like, nah, don't do that. It's because everybody's afraid to tell you the truth.
Yeah, that one person who told you that might be the only honest person. That's the person you need to really care for.
Sometimes I would rather go with the 1 than the 100. I said, okay, this is something I need to hear.
Absolutely. So let's dibble dabble now because you did mention it, and I don't know why everybody seems to think this is a big taboo, but you are on the Evening Rush Network. And first off, I want to say, shout outs to Dawn, shout outs to Envy, shout outs to Rainbow. You have a spot on the Evening Rush Network as the DJ. You do your own set. Let everybody know how that came about.
Oh, good. Now I get to fluff your ego now. That was my turn. The interviewee gets to plug in the interviewer. All right. So what happened was, right, I was it started out as it was a Thanksgiving mix.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I doing at the time? I think I was still with Superstar J at that time, and I was transitioning on my own because a lot of, especially shout out to Superstar J for real. I forgot to mention that. A lot, especially the bigger name DJs, they don't take too many people on the wing unless you're good. And that's one thing, to go back to one of your previous questions to let me know I was good. I said, we've been doing this for like a year or so now, so I must be doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
So Don had put up a post for the Thanksgiving mix. Now, you know me, I'm talking all kind of craziness on social media. I didn't see the post because I'm too busy focused on myself talking about nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my Lady Mayhem. She tagged me in it and said I should do it. Now, I was reluctant to do it. I was like, yo, am I really ready to be broadcasted? So I was second guessing myself then. Mind you, this was almost a year ago. I was second guessing myself, like, yo, am I really ready for that aspect? Because I always credit myself for every year I'm always doing something different. This right here is something different. I didn't even make it to the next year yet, and I'm doing something different already. But Lady Mayhem, she plugged me in, and then I hit Don up. Don said, "Oh, Rels told me to keep a spot open for you already." So then you know that. After that, I called you up, said, "Yo, I appreciated you. I told you that," and stuff like that. Because I always knew we rocked. I didn't know how much you got to listen to me or how much you appreciated my skills. But when Don told me that you told him to keep a spot open, I said, "Yo, Rels really fuck with me." Part of my language.
Yeah, I mean, bro, why? Yeah, and it's funny you say, because we're talking about Thanksgiving mix from last year.
Yes.
And look at everything that has happened between November and August.
Bro.
Everything that you have done between November and August. Like,
got myself an artist. Yo, shout out to my normal clients. Like I'm sitting here like I get emails and calls from UBS Arena. Like, who does that? I'm like, this is crazy. It's still mind blowing, but at the same time, it keeps me humble and I gotta attribute my mother to that. She always kept me grounded, and she talks to me. She gives me my accolades. She gives me my credit, but at the same time, she keeps me down. She knocks me. I always feel like a child still when I'm in her presence. It's that. Like, I just did a party for my cousins. For some reason, she was sitting there, her and my father. At 42 years old, I still refuse to curse in front of them. Sometimes I can't do it unless I'm mad. So it's like enough respect to my mother and father for really keeping me grounded and being like two of the biggest, like, what's what I'm looking for? Biggest influences. And investors in my craft. Invested a lot of time, if more than anything. This money, I told people, like, it's one thing that, to buy the equipment and stuff like that. If you don't have people willing to give you that space and that opportunity, and I got so much equipment at my mother's house, it's ridiculous. And they don't know, like, what are you doing with that? And I just build it up. It's like Legos. You keep building and building and building. I go to a shed. I said, these are all mine. I got equipment in Brooklyn, equipment in Long Island, equipment in Connecticut. This is crazy.
Look, like I said, and nobody, probably with the exception of your family and your lady, nobody's more proud of your success than I am, because I know what it took for you to get to where you got to. So we're gonna jump from your set on the Evening Rush Network. We're gonna talk about now you being a personal DJ for an artist. So talk about that.
When she asked me, that's another connection through Don. I met Dot through Don, and she hit me up and she was like, "Hey, I was looking for a DJ," and honestly, biggest asshole. First thing that came to my mind, said maybe she wants me to point her out to somebody. I'm not going to be no personal DJ. And then she said, "I'd be on," not in those words, but kind of like, "I'd be honored if you do." I said, and I told us, "I'm honored that you even asked me." And from there, it's just like when I tell you that girl's a star, I didn't say that to me. I don't like too much music. Little secret here, DJs, we don't like everything we play, but we play it because we have to play it for the moment. There's a lot of music that I would play and I'd be like, oh, it's like cringing. Like, if you ask Mayhem, she'll know, like, after a whole gig, I'll probably, if I'm not riding in silence, I'll probably throw in like an oldies mix, because I don't want to hear that shit that I was just listening to for 6 hours.
It's crazy, right? Because, for example, I get where you're coming from. Like, totally different professions, but I understand. Me being a mailman, November will be 17 years I've been a mailman.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. I deliver mail so much during the day that when I get home, I don't even want to look at a mailbox.
Right. The same concept.
Yeah. But then the downside is that I can point out everybody's mailbox when I'm riding or driving somewhere.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's almost like we can go anywhere, and I'm like, oh, there go their mailboxes right there, or oh, it's a door slot right there, or oh, the mailbox got to probably be on the side of the house. Like, it's bad because it's like, because I've seen so many. It's like, yo, I think about it, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. But then I get home, bro, and I won't check my mail for like 3-4 days
because you don't look at it.
I don't want to look at it.
You don't want to see a piece of envelope. You don't want to see a stamp.
Oh, like, I get sick just looking at mail when I have to open it. I'm like,
same concept, bro. Same concept.
Yeah. So back to your story. I'm sorry I cut you off.
I
felt the need to.
I love it, man. So yeah, me and Dot and the Rockin', like, we did a lot of preparation for North Carolina. Things didn't go exactly as planned, but just to have that experience with her, and it's like she's like really a star in the making, but she's so humble. I tell her all the time, like her, and shout out to Trey too. We always tell her, yo, you stay humble and let me do the shit talking for you. But
the yin to the yang.
sometimes we tell her as an artist, you got to step out of that. Sometimes you got to talk your shit. Sometimes you got to let people know you're the best. And I like, even with the DJing, I stay humble, but like, all right, let me let people rock. But at the same time, sometimes people be like, yo, listen, you didn't just start doing this because you just started doing it. You got this from somewhere. And all I say is tell some people, you're welcome. It's a humbling thing, because I know, like I told you before, the R&B thing wasn't my thing. I got that for Superstar J. I tell people all the time, I'm a little brag here. I kind of brought that element to the circuit and made it cool to play R&B at these parties. And I said, the people been playing it, but you ain't rocking whole parties like I'm doing it. And I learned that from the Union DJs. I did learn that from them.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Shout out to DJ Damage, DJ Mr. Famous, Gully. These guys, the list goes on. But I was able to contact a lot of these guys. Met a lot of people, a lot of industry people. Like I said, that's when the mentor hit me with the, yo, welcome to the big leagues. While he was DJing, I was like, yo, what did he mean by that? I was like, yo, took off. Just being attached to him took my name to a different place. So I'm grateful for that.
That's what I feel like when I'm around you. Like just my name being attached to you makes me feel more important. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I appreciate that.
Because small guys like me, just the fact that you was able to take time out of legacy mode in 2K to do this to me means a lot. It means a lot to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm honored, bro. Because me and my lady, we have a rule: we don't work on Sundays. Like, no matter what it is, we don't. But it's like this isn't work. This is like I'm having a conversation with my brother right now.
Yeah, facts.
Have cameras on, man.
It's just cameras and just going to be broadcasted to 25 people. But, it's cool.
Thousands of people.
No, 25 people. 25 people. I'm not there yet. 25 people.
We don't shoot solo. Somebody's going to see this. We're going to get it out there.
I hope so. I hope so. So, speaking of North Carolina, you went to North Carolina along with the Evening Rush Entertainment. Shout outs to all of them. Shout outs to Equation. Shout outs to Dot. And you was down there and you got introduced to the Fleet DJs. And tell me two things. How was the North Carolina experience overall, being representing the Evening Rush Entertainment? And how was the whole thing, just being able to interact with the Fleet DJs?
Well, again, let me shout out Don again on that too, because he's been working. The man's been working. He actually put this link, because I thought I was just gonna be a DJ, just like just freelance, do whatever. I said, what I need a team for? I'm not giving nobody money just so I could do this, and I do nothing for me. I had to mature within the last year and realize, okay, wait a minute, this is not just about me giving these people my money and this, that. It's really like a brotherhood there, number one. Number two, these people are helping you get your name out there.
Mm-hmm.
When we went down to the Fleet conference, we was about 6 of us. We all rolled together, but we ended up linking up down there. Again, my lady Mayhem, she came down, and she thought, she said, I'm gonna take a little vacation. Even she got put to work. She saw a different side of this thing. But Fleet, you're going to a new situation. There's gonna be a whole bunch of people, and then your brain goes, somebody over here is gonna be an asshole. I know I'm gonna have to see somebody somewhere down the line.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally, I want to see 75 to 100 DJs there, something like that. Every interaction was dope. It was busy. I'm running this way, that way. I'm trying to collect shirts. Every time I ask a question, say, yo, listen, go that way. If I don't know it, somebody was helpful. Shout out to Miss Official. She's the manager, my manager out of our region, because Fleet, we're going over. Shit, don't give me the line. The number of DJs in between, besides DJs, there's producers, models, gaming. They covering so many different aspects of the world. So to see most of that in North Carolina, then to meet the artists, then the network, and it's like, oh God, these artists are gonna be kind of stuck up and this, that, and other. But one thing about all these artists, they respect the DJ. I don't care who they are. Every artist seems to respect the DJ. And I didn't realize how big of a role we play because, we got to get the music out there. So now I built so many contacts up. I hit whoever up and I'd be like, hey, I'm trying to put my show together for next week. I would love to put your music in it. Oh, I'll send it to you whenever you, I'll send it to you. So send me the email. I'll send it to you. I'm like, damn, just like that. Within hours, I'm getting music. I did one show a couple of weeks ago. I said, yo, I can put the new music on here for 2 hours. And like I said, that all goes back to what I'm saying. Sometimes you sit there and think, how am I going to please the audience this time? And sometimes it's like, a lot of my mixes come from, it's like, I call it my brainchild. Like, what do I want to hear as a person who listens to music? Or it's like, just like with my parties too. What do I want to hear as I'm partying? I don't know if you've seen it, but times I could be playing music and I'll step out from around the table and I'm partying, almost forget that I'm DJing. And I'm over there partying, I'm sitting there dancing and carrying on, and that's the West Indian side of me. Fleet Conference, same thing. It was down there to work, just had nothing but fun. But it was so informative. Like we're learning how to monetize my mixes, we're learning how to just present ourselves and network. It was teaching me a different way to network. I actually started with that networking thing from telecommunication, and then joining Hood showed me a different way of networking and just reaching out to people. And then I can take a piece of my life in every aspect and then add it to something else. And then everything that I've learned, packed it into DJ, and here we are. Fleet something else. There's something different. Like we have conference calls. We talking to artists every night. We getting new music every night. It's like my emails. I had to set up a separate email just for Fleet. And almost every I try to check it like at least twice a week. No, 3 times a week. Every time I'm in there, new release from this person, new single. So I'm like, yo, some of this stuff, like a lot of these YouTube sensations and stuff, we're getting it first. And we're getting exclusive. So a lot of times people, we know we breaking records over here. Nah, Fleet really breaking records out here. Really breaking records. It's a beautiful thing. I actually had the opportunity to sit in. I grew up on Onyx.
Yes.
So when Fredro and Sticky Fingers was on a conference call, lost my shit.
Oh, I bet.
My camera off, turned the video off. I'm running around the house. Shorty, like, what the hell is going on? I said, I am on a conference call with Sticky and Fredro. And I couldn't say that. Question, answer, comment, come on. I'm sitting there, got nothing. Turned my camera back off. Just sat there. Didn't do it. I stand out. Never thought I'd do it. I said I told myself the only person I'd probably do that for would probably be a Jada and a Tupac. But obviously Pac going on to be Jada. I did a big Gemini mix. I said, damn, we got a lot of fucking artists. But yeah, I didn't think I was fan out for Sticky. The first time I ran into Sticky, I was in that Jamaica Ave. I was in high school. And at that time, larger than life. Big dude too at the time. For him, I was walking down the Ave. He was coming up the other way. I went across the street. I said, this dude's scary. I'm not fucking with him.
You couldn't even say hi.
I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't get an autograph. I couldn't ask for one. And he was that intimidated. For me, yep. My very first 2 CDs I've ever owned was TLC and Back the F Up.
Back the F Up.
First 2 CDs. And my mother didn't know what she was doing. She just bought the CDs. She bought the TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool, and she bought the Onyx. 2 totally different sides of the spectrum.
It's like the Temptations and Tupac.
Right. I put that Onyx CD on. She said, I bought it. I don't know what else to do. I said, Ma, you didn't see this big parental advisory sticker on there? See, I was 14? Yeah, because I just moved to Long Island. So I was like 14 years old when I first got that CD. Ever since then, music. And that was really like my first real introduction to hip-hop. Because I listened to it here and there. But on my come up listening to music, I was listening to The Boys. Yeah, The Boys in Belle Biv DeVoe. That's all I really knew. Criss Cross. I was listening to like the really commercial. I didn't know what an Onyx was until '94. So, I like this shit.
All right, so I got 2 questions before we close out, right?
Sure.
First question: what is the best mix you think you've ever done so far?
I'm referring to counsel over here. My best mix I've ever done.
Oh, you went for your lifeline?
Yeah, yeah, it had to, because like she critiques my shit too, like because she gets it firsthand. Like she's another one I have to give a shout out.
Okay,
to.
wait. I got a second question because I know where you're about to go, so I want to throw this in there before.
Go ahead.
How important has she been to you in terms of being an influence or in terms of just being a support system to you as a DJ?
Bro, you know Mayhem. You know Mayhem likes music. You know she doesn't listen to bullshit.
Yes.
So I am not allowed to play bullshit. So if I play bullshit, I'm going to have to hear about it. On top of that, if I'm making this noise, you know what it is? A lot of these mixes too are recorded. But it's one shot for me. I don't do a mix. I don't go back here to do this, that, and other. I'll sit there, put the mix together. And if she's here and she can hear it, she said that was a good mix. So I said, what didn't you like about it? Nah, it was good. I said, okay, I'm sending that over. And like I said, all one shot deals for me. It's I really sit there and like put my all into it as I'm sitting there. As far as my best mix, that one of the top ones for sure was the one I did for my mother. Because it was Tuesday evening and her birthday happened to fall on that Tuesday. Plus, it was Mother's Day the Sunday before.
So it was it was almost perfect timing then.
Yeah, I put my heart into that. Like to the point, if you listen to the mix, you hear me getting teary-eyed. I'm telling you, Ralph, I love that woman. No. That's like completely my best friend. So I really put my heart into that one. If I could say, I don't know if it was my best or what, it was definitely one of my favorites. So it was my favorite. After that, I dropped one for Pop Dukes. You know what? If we're gonna talk about the best, I think my best was my Gemini mix.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a Gemini myself, so I did that mix of Gemini. It was right after Father's Day, and I just went. I just thought that one I actually had to put a game plan together as far as like, okay, which artists are really Gemini. So I knew certain artists was Geminis, but I wanted to make sure, so I actually went back, checked their birthdays, I put check marks before I went off. And at the end of that mix, I was looking at my list. I'm like, damn, these certain artists I couldn't even get to. I was going in. I could have done 4 hours of that, like no problem. I had to cut myself off. I think my best was my Gemini. What do you think? See, she has to think about it. When I tell you
your very first one you did.
What we're gonna say is that when you talk about support, bro, I tell people all the time, she takes care of business so I can have fun. So if she wasn't really strict on her business side, I'd be lost on my having fun side. A lot of equipment and stuff like that I was able to get. I'm like, yo, man, I need this. Can we do this? You got it? Go get it. And trying to go get it. It's like I told people I really didn't start calling myself a DJ until my DJing started paying for my DJ equipment. So I had to separate. I got to take care of home and I got to take care of my DJ. If I need a new piece of equipment, my next gig or gigs has to pay for that equipment. I can't take my personal bread but it's been working out like that. I said 2 things made me a DJ. When other DJs called me a DJ and when I was able to buy DJ equipment from my DJ. I didn't just slap on a pair of headphones and turntable and say, look, I'm a DJ. You got to respect the craft. You got to.
Absolutely. Support is everything, man.
Yes.
Support is everything.
Support.
And it's funny, prior to this interview, I interviewed a rapper. He's starting out, whatever. He got a feature coming out with Jadakiss. Shout outs to him. Yeah, he should. So when you mentioned Jadakiss, I was like, but he actually has a feature coming out with Jadakiss. Shout outs to Marcy's, aka Papito Prezi. That's who I just did the interview with. Wow. And he literally said the same thing you said in terms of the business aspect and letting like wifey handle the business aspect while he handles. So it's like I think a lot of people don't realize the importance of having that person by your side because if you have a smart woman by your side who can handle the business aspect while you're doing all of that, you don't have to worry about nothing else. Because all you have to do is focus on your music.
Shout out to Marty.
Yeah, I was that, bro. When I speak on the same thing because, bro, when it comes to all the business stuff, I don't have to touch it. I don't have to deal with it.
And you need that because your focus has to be on you in the industry, podcast fans. You need your focus here. And then somebody has to be over here taking care of that. You need good management. You need a good support system. If you got a strong lady on your side, you need that too because she's going to put the bullshit on her back just so you can elevate. Just the unwritten rule is you better make sure you take her with you. Don't. You better take it. Yeah, don't screw that over.
From two legitimate assholes, we both can agree that you're an asshole of a different kind. If you had a woman who was watching your back while you were broke and you elevated yourself and left her behind,
you're straight dirtbag. I don't think if you do that, you don't deserve to exist.
Yeah, I don't even want no parts of you after.
I don't.
I don't want to do business with you at all.
So wait a minute, she helped you out. So where's she at? Oh no, I had to kick that girl. Why? Because a little argument. She didn't fluff your ego.
That's what I was gonna say. Yep. Because now that you kind of got a little bit of a little hype going on, she said something that you didn't like when you were broke. You loved it, and now that you got it, all of a sudden, now you think she hating or she don't want you to elevate. Mm-hmm. It's not the case. It's just that the problem is she just no. It's not even a problem. The fact of the matter is she stayed true to you and herself. Mm-hmm. And you think you big time, so now all of a sudden you don't want to take the criticism anymore.
Yeah, like nah, keep it real with me. Like I told you, like I said earlier, I said nah. Tell me I'm garbage. Tell me this wasn't you're not feeling it. Tell me like when it comes to like she's like a whole dude. I tell people like how as dudes we say yo, you ain't going out with me looking like that. She'll make sure my fit's right. Mm-hmm. You see me before hair wild. Like you got.
When I met you, bro, you had red hair.
That was part of my gimmick. Part of my gimmick. But like it was wild. So she's like, nah, you gotta get that cut. Nah, remember I had my locks. Mm-hmm. Be all over the place. Yo, you gotta get that done. Nah, I'm good. No, you gotta
because now that you're starting to elevate, it's all about your image. You gotta have a certain image.
I have to care more. Because I would go outside, people gonna take me for as it is. But I realized too, and this is a message to people who told me, I don't care what people think about me. We all care because we all require acceptance in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. I tell people, if you're in a club, if you got a job, if you have kids, if you're in a relationship, you all require acceptance. So that whole I don't care thing is just not real. So I laugh at people who say, a lot of these posts go around, raise your hands if you don't care what anybody thinks about you. Mm-hmm. I'm the first one going that post and say, all of y'all are lying. You can't make it in this life if you don't care what people think. I'm a DJ. How can I not care what people think? I have to get a party moving. I'm gonna go in there and just play freaking Celine Dion all night because I don't care what y'all think.
I mean, it's not wrong with Celine Dion.
No, Celine Dion can rock. Shout out to Celine Dion because I threw her song, that Titanic song. I threw it on a reggae beat. Crazy. I'll send that blend over later. Crazy.
Yeah, I need to hear that. Yeah, absolutely. Yo, so the last question I'm gonna ask you is I ask everybody before I close out, and I always get tongue tied when I ask it, so you're gonna have to bear with me.
Sure thing.
If you could tell yourself at a younger age what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Got to be more patient with people. You got to be more. I don't live with any regrets, but I do say, yo, you know what? You could have been a little more patient with people, because I tend to, and Lady Mayhem checked me a few times. I tend to talk to people like they're stupid, and I don't realize it until like Fort. Shout out to Fort. Fort said I have the ability to disrespect somebody, and then I'm so intelligent that they won't know they're disrespected until 2 weeks later.
Oh,
and so he's like, so I had to think about that. I said I do tend to. I think that aspect of me still is like I'm not into preserving anybody's feelings, but I've learned to be a better listener, and I wish I had that characteristic. I was more accepted of people at a younger age. So I would probably tell myself, yo, be more accepted, because this goes into that question of would you change anything? And I don't think I would, because if I changed one aspect of my earlier life, I wouldn't be dealing with the stuff that I'm dealing with now. I got a wonderful son here. I'm in the best relationship I've ever been in. My DJ career is picking up. Even my regular job, I just wanted to work. Next thing you know, I'm a supervisor. I was like, how did that happen? I just wanted to work. So so I always think about that. If you change one thing, if you can go back and change one thing, would you still have that success that you have today? Nah, things would be totally different. I don't like to live in I could have. And I'm just happy for all my bumps and bruises, and I really learned from them. I try to tell people, yo, be grateful for what you have instead of dwelling on what you don't have, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up losing what you do have. And then you'd be like, bad stuff always happened to me. So yeah, because you're not focused on what you need to be focused on. But mainly, I would tell myself to stay focused. I was big in football. I said, damn, if I went this way, if I moved this way, I could have been here. I was good already, but if I listened to the coaches, I would have been. But at the same time, if I listened to the coaches, I wouldn't be on this path.
But you know what's crazy though about that? You didn't listen to the coaches and look where you at now, but look where your legacy and your son is taking it.
So that's the crazy.
So although that you didn't get into the football, you're still into the football through your son now.
Shout out to Cottrell. Shout out to Akron University. That boy. You know what's funny too? I don't want to take up too much of your time. What's funny about this is I was big in football. I kind of fell out of love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was watching him play. I knew he was good. I didn't realize how good he was. You know, a lot of parents are, oh, yeah, my son is the best. And they do all of that. And I said, yeah, whatever and stuff like that. But when the parents come to you and say, yo, your boy out there killing it. It's like my work situation was so crazy that I couldn't make a lot of his games. But to go on the field and people know who I was, the biggest fulfillment I get out of life is my son brags about me. So people know who I am without knowing me. But when he's on that field, like literally teams for the last 2 years have designed plays to keep away from him. Because they say, you're not catching the ball over there. You don't throw it over there. He let up 2 touchdowns in 4 years in his high school. And maybe 4 or 5 receptions. Coaches that say, yo, it's pointless throwing over there. And him and shout out my other nephew too, Jerry. They're both out there killing it. Jerry and Wagner. I got another nephew. He's upstate, Buffalo side. And these young men, I could live through them. There's like 3 of them right now, all doing good. This generation right here, his friends and stuff, mind blowing. All of them good.
And that's the thing. So because you might not have gotten to football like I said through that way, you'll be on somebody's NFL field one day through him. Let that sink in. Wait till that sinks in when you're actually with your son at draft day, because we're gonna will that into existence.
That's gonna happen.
Let's see how proud that moment will be for you that day. Your son is in the draft and he gets drafted by a team and you're right next to him when it happens.
I told him, like, you know, a lot of parents, they look at their kids, oh, I'm about to get the house, the car, the contract. When that first contract, I said, bro, do me one favor. If you're still in college and LeBron happens to make it to Akron that day, get him on that FaceTime. You need to get me in a college. I need to DJ a college party or an NFL party. I'll take it from there. And he laughs about it. He said, what about the car in the house? And, nah, I'm good with that. Your mother deserves that stuff. She had to put up with your nonsense. Give me the party, and I'll make my own way. Take that one big party, get your name out there. DJ for LeBron. I'll be like, yo, LeBron, I'm speaking that to existence.
There you go. Thank you for being my guest, man. I appreciate you, especially coming in on short notice. Let people know where they can find you.
All the socials, Twitter, IG, that's at djdonduro.com. At DJ Donduro, sorry. And then
maybe you need to do a .com. There you go.
At Donduro, Facebook. I do have a fan page that I'm currently working on. YouTube, also DJ Donduro. Tuesday, Evening Rush Network. Friday, Evening Rush Network. Wednesday on WLEO. That's live365.com. Every other Friday, Vera Experience, the podcast. Damn, I'm working out here, huh?
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, you listen up the accomplishments. I'm like, I thought she was gonna be like, you'll find me at DJ Donduro. Good night. You just started, bro.
Y'all want to catch up with me? I'll shout y'all out come Tuesday. Got to shout out Rels. Tuesday show coming up. Probably shout you out Wednesday, Friday. This week is the week of the Rels. So I'll be shouting you out this week.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. For years. This is when I was with the first team. You always show that love. Crooked Fella as a whole. Salute to y'all. Salute to you and all your endeavors. I'm proud of you, man. I love to see that. I'm on my YouTube feed. I get a ticker that says Rels, So got to tune in to Rels. I miss a lot of shows because I be lazy and sometimes I just don't want to look at a phone, a TV, or nothing. But
I feel you. I understand.
Your shows are so entertaining, bro, and a lot of insightful too. Shout out to Black O too. It's like it was a good team. I used to be mad when the Rel show didn't come on. So yo, Rel take off this week. I used to text you and I say, yo, what happened? And I really needed that, especially driving from New York to from Connecticut to New York. You used to take me to work. So,
listen, you got this now. All Rels all the time.
Yo, I just love to see my brothers and just everybody doing big things. You know what it is? It's motivation. Somebody had told me one day, he said, some people want to see you do good, but not doing better than them. I need y'all to do better than me so I could pick myself up. I need y'all, and I need that around me. I keep nothing but positivity around me because it drives me. I have to dash away a lot of that negativity, and I'm at peace, bro. I've been at peace for the last 2 years. I mean, I'm not perfect. There's things that still triggers me and gets me upset. But for the most part, I'm really at peace. I'm happy. I had a shirt on. Was it yesterday? Yesterday. Shirt just says, "Nah, you got it." Cause I'm not arguing with y'all no more. Yo, Doro, you're whatever. Nah, you got it. I don't want to argue with you, man. Like, I'll apologize for anything quick. I told people I'm not fighting. I'm 42 years old. These are my gifts. I need these. I break a hand, no one will scratch with my elbows. Yeah, nah, you got it. You got it. The enemy is something else. He'll come at you in many different forms. You got it.
Stay grounded,
let him know. I see what you're trying to do. I'm not gonna let you bring me to that place. I'm not.
I feel you. But thank you for being a guest, man. Like I said, once again, I greatly appreciate you, my brother from another. You already know, man.
Rose from the heart, man. I love you, and I thank you, man. Thank you.
Definitely, and I appreciate you, man. So everybody listening, enjoy. And when this drops, just know you guys had a very entertaining episode. So, all right, brother.
Thank you, my brother.
No problem.